All right, broski. It's T-Man and I'm back, broskis, on a new video. It's on TristynLee. It's about time, right? Enough of that Blaha stuff. So yeah, I'm doing a video on TristynLee, man. Yes, the lifting gym slave himself, TristynLee. All right, let's see what TristynLee is up to here. TristynLee says, full day of eating, 4,173 calories, 287 grams carbs. TristynLee. Okay, he's eating sugar. Great. I mean, I don't mind some avocado myself, but the fish looks good, the meat looks good. I think this is liver.
Move your ass out of the way, Larry.
Okay, that's a lot of rice, and rice is filled with arsenic. It's bad for your health, man. I'm not really a rice eater. Asians are. And no, I'm not a rice eater. I think the brown rice is a lot worse. It's a lot actually. The brown rice is a lot worse than the white rice. But okay.
Massive belly blocking all the light.
What do you have to say about that?
You're well. We've got a full day of eating planned today. It's been
Basically, he's eating seeds there and a bunch of other junk.
exactly 1 year, just over 1 year since I started the bulk. So my diet has changed pretty significantly, even since like
He started the bulk. What does that mean? That word, when they use bulk, I started to get fat. I started the fat diet. I started to bulk. I started to get fat. Yeah, he started to get fat. Okay. So he went from anorexic over here. He looks totally, he lacks muscle. Look at him on the left here and look at him on the right here. Look at his chest and everything. He doesn't have any muscle. He's got lines and cuts. You understand me? He looks anorexic, lines and cuts. But he doesn't have any muscle because he never built any. Here's the thing. You don't have muscle if you didn't build anything. I'm not talking about him getting better at lifting weights. You have to practice at sports, at lifting something heavy. You have to practice at your craft, even in construction. If you want to be a construction worker or a carpenter, you have to practice at being good at that. Because all you suck. That's why. Get it? That's why people want to hire people with experience. They don't want to hire them without it because you suck, because you don't know anything. It takes practice. Humans have to practice to be good at things. You understand me? They're not born with that. But anyways, he's got no muscle here. And then here, he looks like he's got muscle all of a sudden. He blew up. You want to know why? That's called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy right there. He didn't build any myofibrillar growth because myofibrillar growth is based on repetitive injuries. And he don't want to do that. He don't want to do that, so he didn't get nothing out of that. So what did he do? He opted for what? Eating carbohydrates. Now ask yourself this question. Does carbohydrates build muscles, man? What's carbohydrates? It converts to glycogen, whatever. It's sugar. Let's just put it this way. It's sugar. It's sugar. So you think that sugar builds muscles or protein? Okay, and even if you are lifting in an adapted state in the gym, you're eating a bunch of protein. Are you building muscle? No, there was nothing damaged there. There's nothing injured. There was nothing injured in the muscle fibers, so there's nothing to build. It's based on something, on injury, get it? The muscles have to be injured. If there's no injuries there, then what the fuck is it gonna, what will it do there? How will it adapt by repairing and remodeling? There's no repair and remodeling there. Oh, I know. Here's how it will adapt your muscles in the gym if you're adapted. By giving you more force production. A phony kind of strength, making you better at lifting stuff. A lifting slave, get it? So you understand what I'm trying to explain to you? It'll make you a lifting slave. Now, what makes you a gym slave? I'll tell you what makes you a gym slave. You're a gym slave, these other people, because they're loading glycogen in their muscles, in the sarcoplasm. They call that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Look, I'll show this to you people. Maybe because in case you don't know what that is. So these are the fibers right here. We call this sarcoplasm is the cytoplasm of a muscle cell. It is comparable to the cytoplasm of other cells. Yes, but it contains what? Unusually large amounts of glycogen. A polymer of glucose. Yeah, sugar, man. It's really horrible for your health to carry all that sugar in there. Myoglobin and red-colored protein necessary for binding oxygen molecules that diffuse into muscle fibers and mitochondria. And you can read it here, sarcoplasm in Wikipedia. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is a type of artificial muscle growth. Basically, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is a kind of artificial muscle growth to train the muscles for no other reason than to visually increase its size by increasing the amount of fluid it can hold. But you do not increase the density of the muscle fibers. Now, what increases the density of the muscle fibers? Well, it ain't sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, it's myofibrillar hypertrophy. But how do you train for myofibrillar hypertrophy? Well, you got to injure the muscle fibers, and they can't happen often. They can only happen in an unaccustomed state, or unfamiliar forms, or untrained muscles. And they can't happen with a repeated bout. Because I had some guy write me now in the comment section. I don't know what he's talking about. He says, you're going to get this growth with a progressive overload. Yeah, progressive overload if you're maybe untrained, or maybe if you're really unaccustomed to it, where the muscles are not with a repeated bout. I think people don't understand with protection from a repeated bout and untrained muscles, unfamiliar for what this means. I think you need to go back and read science, bro. Got to go back there. But anyway, let's get back to the video. I don't want to stay on this too long.
The last full day of eating we did, and I put on about like 40 pounds in total, going from like 138 to close to 175 now that I'm climbing back up.
Yeah, think about it. What is he putting? What are those pounds he's putting on there? He's climbing so fast. Why wasn't he climbing before on a carnivore diet? I try to tell all of you, go eat meat. If protein builds muscles, go to the gym and lift weights. And go see if there's a protein synthesis, you're going to get massive. Why aren't you getting massive then? If there's a window for protein synthesis and all of you are working out 7 days a week, 8 days a week, 7 days a week, all those fucking tests that you've seen, what's his name? That stupid steroid guy on the internet. I forget his name now. Anyway, these stupid influencers, they're always showing you these stupid things where people are gaining muscle, whatever. Jeremy Ethier and all this other fucking assholes, whatever. All these other assholes. It's all sarcoplasmic hypertrophy because there's two types. Duh. So think about it. He's eating carbs. Do carbs build muscles? What kind of muscles do carbs build? Sarcoplasmic. Now, what kind of muscles does protein build? Well, it can't build anything if there's no damage there. If there's no micro injuries, it ain't building fuck all. Get it, dude?
Eat this morning because I was like, let's film this video, and those guys could get up way later than I do. So normally I eat my first meal around like 4 or 5 a.m. But right now it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and we're about to go to the gym. So I figured it's better to get something that's quicker digesting. So I'm just gonna do a quick shake here. It's gonna be 85 grams of carbs from the cluster extract. So it's about 3 scoops of this carb powder, a scoop of Chimera Pump, which is a glycerol powder. You guys know how much I love glycerol.
Oh my God. What is he eating here? The pump. What is this? Chimera Pump, some kind of protein shit, bullshit. It's all sugar in there. Dextrose, sucrose, some other shit, who knows what. It's all sugar, bro. It's all carbs. Fake muscles. That's why they put it in there. They tell you, here, I have a protein shake for you. But read what's in there. Maltodextrin, all this shit. It's all sugar. Wow. Because it's going to load in the sarcoplasm. That's what they're hoping. And you'll build these phony muscles. What is this sarcoplasmic hypertrophy? Glycogen. It's an energy source. Fat cells hold energy in the form of triglyceride. The first wall of defense of your muscles is the sarcoplasm. It loads a lot of this glycogen in the muscle. It could load a hell of a lot in the sarcoplasm, all the way around it. It could load tons of it, get it? Especially if you're pumping it in there, going to the gym and pumping. For every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water dropped between the skin and the muscle into the muscle. So add more grams, you'll pump more of this shit in the muscles. Yeah. So here's how it works. So when glycogen synthesis exceeds this breakdown in glycogen, then you can load more of it in there. It'll load like crazy. Get it? So the more potatoes you eat, the more it'll convert to glycogen. The more you'll load in these muscles by lifting weights. You'll look massive like a steroid guy. Get it? Without the steroids. It's fake. It's phony muscles. Bodybuilders get this, especially on high testosterone. It loads more in there because it's protecting. A high testosterone protects muscles, and so you're eating now, and it's loading in there like a son of a bitch, like a cash cow, dude. Because when you're starving, your hormones go sky high to do what? To preserve all that. That's why it goes sky high. But your hormones are not sky high. You're not starving. You inject it endogenously, high testosterone. What does it do? It thinks you're starving. And so it loads more of this glycogen in there, the energy force. Get it? And you get massive. Does that add to the strength? Fuck no, it doesn't add to the strength. But it'll make you look really big and jacked. That's for sure. Get it? So think about it. Sugar build muscles. What kind of muscles it builds? Sarcoplasmic. It's kind of obvious, man. But protein does not build muscles unless they're injured. Get it? If they're not injured, they're not building. That's why he couldn't build muscles. You saw him there in that picture. He couldn't build his muscles. Get it? Because he wasn't injuring them. Duh. He was adapted. There's something called the repeated bout effect. With a repeated bout of damage, the muscles protect itself. How does it protect itself? By repairing and remodeling stronger. So when you come back, they're resilient from any further assaults, getting damaged, and repairing and remodeling bigger and stronger. Get it, dude? That's the adaptation process.
Well, literally since the first full day of eating video that I...
And why does it do that? To protect you from rhabdo, so you don't get rhabdo and die in a stupor in a hospital. That it, duh.
Ever did on this channel. I think I've touted the benefits of glycerol powder for getting a nasty pump, which you'll see later in this video. Creatine monohydrate, 5 grams of this per day.
Again, he took glycerol for what? For a nasty pump. He wants to pump. Do you get a pump when you eat protein, just protein and no carbs, nothing, go in gym, lift, you get a pump? Are you getting pumped? No, there's no pump. What's pump associated with? For every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water drawn between skin and muscle into muscle, bro. Building more of these phony muscles. Everybody in the gym, 99% of people in the gym are building phony muscles. They have no clue. They're going to the gym just to load glycogen in their muscles, and they never built any muscles. And then they go, hey, but aren't we building muscles if we do progressive overload? No, your muscles are adapted. How? They repaired and remodeled a lot stronger. They're resilient from getting busted and building bigger and stronger through what? Muscle damage. That's how muscles are built. Muscle damage. Get it? Myofibrillar growth is built through muscle damage. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is built through what? Carbohydrate. Now, you're not getting it through ketones, so you're doing it artificially. You're creating artificial muscles. So he's a fake natty. All of you people who are eating an artificial diet called carbohydrates and loading them in your muscles and your muscles getting bigger, you are all fake fucking natties. Get it, bro? You are a fake natty, bro. Get it? Because you are not building it through repetitive bouts of injuries and then repairing and remodeling when protein synthesis exceeds this breakdown. You are carb loading and creating sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles, artificial muscles. Get it, dude? You are a fake natty.
85 grams carbs.
Without the drugs. Because sugar is a drug, man. It's just loading in there.
25 grams of protein from whey. And then after the workout, you guys are going to see the post-workout nutrition, which is...
Yes, more sugar. More sugar, yes. That's it.
More carbs than I had the entirety of my life before.
See? He's using a sweet word, more carbs. Just say the real word. Sugar. All carbs are made the same. The makeup of them, the molecules are made up the same. Sucrose, sugar. Just say it, dude.
Doctor.
Is sugar a nutrient? Is it a vitamin? What is it exactly? What is sugar? It's a drug. It's like cocaine. It's been made from plants. It's a drug. Only a highly more addictive drug, and it does something different than what cocaine or other drugs would do. These drugs from these plants that you would, opium or something, or you would extract it.
Cardboard. Moist. Tyler, what are you doing? What? That's Tyler's response to everything whenever we ask him any question at all. What? I'm not the
Notice his face looks puffy and round.
one that lacks brain cells. The first time I came out, well, I mean, I guess I didn't literally come out, but...
Did he come out of the closet?
First time I said I was eating carbs, it was like me coming out of the closet. Everybody like threw a party. Everybody said, congratulations, Tristan.
See, congratulations, Tristan. You're finally eating drugs called sugar and destroying your health and your body and loading these drugs in the sarcoplasm in your muscles.
You go, girl.
You go, girl.
Yes, he's accelerated aging, possibly getting diabetes in the future. And let's see, what else is he going to be suffering from? Sarcopenia, I don't know, wearing out this progenitor cell, and maybe possible other metabolic diseases. Who knows what will happen there? I don't know. And chronically lifting again, that too causes microtraumas. They were unseen. They could potentially give you problems with your joints, muscles, even just everything, man. Man, you'll be messed up. Even your spinal cord, they can get them in there, and then you're messed up. See, he's gonna measure his phony arms, how pumped up they get with glycogen. Look, Mom, I built the glycogen muscle.
No, wait, no, it's not right.
A little bit more to the right.
See, he could lift some heavy weight there, right? He can lift some heavy weight and stuff. That's called progressive overload. That's an adaptation process as well in force production. You can read it up. Myocytic energy receptor controls the strength, but not the mass of the limb muscles. PubMed, boom. What controls the mass? What controls the mass? Interesting, eh? What controls the mass? Yeah, what controls that?
For like 4'1", that's pretty good. That's an ancient Chinese transcript right there. Last time we were here, Ty's like, I love this gym. You know, it's got a real tetanus vibe. I'm like, yeah. I'm just here for the vibe. Pretty much all the gyms we go to, like the other gym, Boxer, they always have one set of dumbbell where you just have no clue what the weight is. It said on one side of the dumbbell it says 85, and then the other side of the dumbbell it says 80. So
Guessing. Muscle confusion.
yeah, it's muscle confusion, and this, that's so annoying.
Cool. What about the ones at the home gym where they're like, it's like the bar sticking
Yeah, it's
out?
literally straight bars.
You need that risk, you need that fear, you need that feeling that like you might impale yourself and you might get an infection.
See, this force production that he's progressive overload, him lifting, he's just getting better at lifting weights. And that how does that adapt? It's easy. These proteins will make these androgen receptors for force production and proliferate some motor units through your body. But here's the thing. He's probably able to lift slightly heavier because that sugar, that energy exchange in his muscles, well, they're drugs, man. It's a drug. So it's going to help you with more force production. Yeah. Yeah, see, he's so busy thinking he has to lift a heavy weight. Heavy weights don't build muscles. Injuries and repairing and remodeling and protein synthesis exceeds his breakdown. That builds muscles, get it? And then they get bigger and then they get stronger. Yeah. You understand me? Then you're able to lift slightly heavier using your natural strength, and you can rep him out for more reps. But he's doing his workout is frivolous. And I told you again, it can't damage with a repeated bout. Otherwise, it'll protect itself. It'll shift to type 1. It does a whole bunch of stuff to protect from any more damage. You understand me? It's resilient. So you have to do very specific things to make it come back.
It's very odd that Tyler is a bodybuilder, but he has the rest times of a powerlifter.
I know, right?
But you could build these phony muscles like he's doing by eating carbohydrates, all of you. What you're doing out there, pizzas and your pastas and whatever else, potatoes and your rice and all that, your cookies and, I don't know, cookies, cream cakes and all that, chocolate bars, man, chocolate milk, Coca-Cola, pops and all that. It's all sugar, man. Destroying your brain, your health, your teeth, going to the dentist. Just everything. Your nuts are shrunk. Your nuts are small because you're eating carbs all day. People are eating carbs out there. They eat less of their natural diet, which is meat, and they keep eating carbs. That's why their testicles are small. They're not producing fucking testosterone. If you go on your natural diet, eating animals, you're gonna find that your testicles are gonna get bigger. They're going to get way bigger, man. Your sex drive is going to be through the roof. Everything's going to get better. Even your energy level is going to get better. A whole bunch of stuff. But to build muscle, it still has to be injured, repaired, and remodeled to get that density. Now, but the mass, it's based on energy. Mass is based on energy. Get it? Mass. Yeah. I think people just don't know anything about bodybuilding.
Well, you have the body of a whale. So weird.
You just went fully cross-eyed. He's like, oh. It's kind of gold vibe with all the photos on the wall. One of Hunter's sick as well.
Can't see your eyes. It's just like this black bead. Even when they're wide open, you can't see them.
This is wide open.
Man, the movements have to be quick. They have to be quick to damage these type 2 muscle fibers. Since most of us ectomorphs, we got more type 1 than type 2. So we want to build more type 2 muscle fibers. You understand me? And ectomorph, he's going to have more type 2 muscle fibers than an ectomorph, an endomorph, a mesomorph. A mesomorph is going to have more type 2 than an ectomorph. And so will an endomorph. And so you want to build more type 2. How do you build them? You got to damage them. You got to micro-injury. You got to injure them. If you're not injuring them, they ain't growing, man. There ain't nothing going on there. You are wasting your time. You are a lifting slave, a gym lifting slave.
It's always like a constant battle in a videographer's head of like whether you should save you and get the
Or just let me
save
die.
you, or just let you die and get the video, you know.
Even if they die, right, and they didn't get the rep or the PR or whatever it is, at least you got the clip.
Stay hydrated, kids.
Reverse osmosis.
I don't know if you got more water in the bottle or on the outside of the bottle.
I'm built different.
And this is only 202 Olympia.
There's like 12 giant killers. There's Sean Clarita. They call Lee Priest giant killers as well, right? Danny Padilla or Padilla, if you're Italian.
Yes. The steroid people, the phony muscle guys, the steroids, building the phony muscles. Holy shit, man. This is really funny shit.
Right? Yeah, that's the build I'm trying to go for.
There goes the lifting slave again. He's totally adapted to these exercises. There's nothing going on here. There's nothing going on, man. There's nothing going on.
My headphones didn't fall off.
I could have got 3 more if my hair didn't get knocked off.
Bro, if it wasn't so close to the solar eclipse, I would have gotten 5 more reps.
Oh, if it wasn't for the fucking eclipse. Is it an eclipse?
It's just like, shh, quiet. You guys are Tyler's arms compared to mine. Kind of unfair though. Tyler has literal balls in his biceps.
See how pumped up he looks? Look at him. He's so pumped up.
Little.
Look at him. He's pumped, man. And I bet you're going to say, man, he looks like he's on steroids. It does. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy makes people look like they're on steroids. You saw my video in my blacks, that first intro video I have. If you see the end, I'm in black clothes. Look how big I look there. That is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. I think I put on 20 pounds and I moved my weight from, because I love staying at 240. I moved my weight, my physical, my natural good weight, 240, like, you know, whatever, density. I went from 240 to, what was it? To 260. I went to 240 to 260. I gained 20 pounds sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It looked massive, bro. It looked massive. Fuck, it does. It makes you look really big, bigger than you are. But it ain't real, and it doesn't add to the strength or the density.
Balls in his face all the time.
You got testosterone coming from everywhere.
Testosterone coming in everywhere.
No testosterone. Your testosterone is going to be low if you carry too much of that glycogen in your muscle. Yeah, it'll spike, but it'll be weird. You'll have too much, what do you call it? Too much insulin, man. Too much insulin in there. It's bad. That's why you look washed out.
This will probably make it for the video.
He doesn't look too bad with that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy because he started out with very low body fat. Then most likely it's not gonna make him fat. But if he keeps doing this like this bulk thing, he may put on fat. Yes.
Why do you like that? Why like this? Not every movement's a hip thrust. Okay, quick. Flex. Just flex your bicep normally. What's so difficult? Raise your elbow. Raise your elbow. 17.2. So I wonder like how big.
See, they get pumped up and then they measure their arms. How pumped up did they get like a balloon? How big did they get pumped up? Your arms, dude. Oh, hey Tristan, how much did yours get pumped up? Phony. How much phony muscles did you just build right now? Look, guys, we're building muscles in the gym. Look, it went from 16.5 to 17. You think muscles are built in a gym? What kind of muscles are built in there? Sarcoplasmic, yeah. Artificial muscles, man. Sarcoplasmic muscles.
Sean Clarita's arms are. He's like 5'2", right? But he's like.
Sean Clarita's arms, 5.2. Let me tell you something. If you're so busy wanting to build phony muscles, that's easy. Just eat shitloads of carbs, bro. And those muscles, they're gonna just blow up bigger than the last time. I'm not a pumping freak. I don't go there to pump my muscles up like a bicycle pump. Fucking
2-time 212 Mr. Olympia, so.
Measure.
7. No, wait. No, that's not right.
A little bit more to the right.
16.75.
It's probably like 16 flaccid. 16.75
millimeters.
For like 4'1", that's pretty good.
man, they're phony, man. They're phony muscles. Whatever.
Are you man spreading right now?
I'm glute spreading right now.
Oh god.
You guys have asked, I've been talking before glute spread. For those innocent people who don't know what a glute spread is, the official definition is for one to take their hand.
Okay, pause. For one to take their hands in between their gluteus maximus and pull their cheeks apart. Typically done on bodybuilding stages. TristynLee is the one who formulated this posing routine. So, according to the internet, I formulated the glute spread. And okay, let's get to the meal. Okay. So, wow, you got the cinematics there, Brandon.
Whoa. Sweet transition.
Tristan, put some paprika in that bitch.
Meal number 2, which is technically meal number 1, my first real meal of the day. 100 grams of cucumber, 75 to 100 grams of mushrooms. I don't really measure it because it's so low calorie. So 4 ounces of steak and then 180 grams dry weight of jasmine rice. I try to have less fibrous foods around my workout just because I want the carbs to actually get into my system faster. Fiber obviously slows that down the same way that fat does. So
get the carbs faster in your system. It's the complex carbohydrates that load in the sarcoplasm a lot faster, the conversion, but it's slow. It's slow to go, but it eventually it speeds. It looks like it's speeding up with the time, but it's slow to go, and so it doesn't spike insulin. That's why you should stick with complex carbohydrates. But man, I don't think he even knows that. So he's just too much sugar, a bunch of weird other carbs, and that prevents muscle growth, like real muscle growth. Like it prevents nutrients from really entering the cells, which is kind of overfed, undernourished. You're overfed, undernourished kind of thing. You're actually accelerating aging by being overfed and undernourished with the wrong kind of food, sugar, an energy source. You're living off of a drug. You're actually living off a drug called sugar now. That's what he's doing. The no amount, whatever amount of protein he's eating there, is not a necessity because he's not damaging muscle fibers. They're just there, and they're feeding off the energy now themselves. Anyways, they're just living off this energy. He's energy in, energy out. We could call it, like Greg Du said, calories in and calories out. Get it?
Your meal, less fiber around my workout, and then later on in the day I'll have more fiber. And
Fiber? Humans can't digest fiber. They can't digest fiber, bro. Get it? Yeah.
later on in the day I'll put all my other healthy fats into my diet. So you guys will see.
It's useless for a carnivore to eat fiber. You wouldn't feed it to your dog, would you? What would happen to him? Get sick. How do you fix his health? Put it back as natural diet. Fucking carnivore, dude. That's like us. The dog, you, me, this, that. Yeah.
That. So this is meal number 2. I hate filming myself eat, so Brain will get me taking one bite. You know the rules. Meal number 3, which is my afternoon meal. My meals are more condensed today just because I eat my first meal so much later because these guys wake up at like so late. Like, how can you wake up at 7 a.m. so late? It's ridiculous. Because I had higher glycemic carbs, it's only been, it's like an hour and a half between my last meal and this meal, so I'm able to eat more frequently. So that's a little trick. If you're trying to get more food down on the bulk, then try having higher glycemic foods, especially around your workout. The nutrient partitioning is super.
What's this nutrient partitioning bullshit? That's all garbage. I hate when people keep saying that. Look, man, you bulk, this high glycemic, is that what you want? High glycemic? Oh my God.
High, so you do want to actually shuttle the carbohydrates into the muscle, and then you can actually eat more.
You want to shuffle the carbohydrates into the muscle. So if you're shuffling carbohydrates into the muscle, what kind of muscles are you building? What kind of muscles are you building? I thought muscles were built with protein. I thought protein builds muscles. He's shuffling carbohydrates in there. What's a carbohydrate? Sugar. What's that? Glycogen. When it converts to what? Glycogen. He's creating glycogen muscles. He's even telling you. But I think people are so stupid, they're not even realizing that. They don't even see that. Duh.
Meals more frequently because you're just going to be hungrier faster. So exact opposite is when you're dieting, essentially. Sweet potatoes are a more nutrient dense carb. So if you're dieting and you're
Wait, they're more nutrient dense? Carbs? Carbs are not it's not a nutrient. It's fucking energy, bro. Get it? I don't know. You could call it that, but it's not. It's a drug, bro. It's a drug. The sugar that's in there, and any nutrients that were in that fucking sweet potato, and the ground is so depleted, anyways. That you can't absorb it. You understand me? Because it's anti-nutrient. It has oxalates and shit in it. It's anti-nutrient, dude. You can't digest cellulose. What the hell is he talking about?
more concerned about getting actual like nutrients in from the foods, I wouldn't suggest having it right.
Nutrients in from the foods, you get nutrients in from meat. Meat, you can absorb nutrients from it. But if you eat these plants are deficient. Here's another thing: plants are deficient. They don't have all these so-called nutrients in them like meat does. And so when you try to absorb it, it doesn't absorb because it's anti-nutrient.
As frequently because it's essentially just sugars, just carbs. But if you are trying to have
there, he admits it. It's just sugar, it's just carbs. Yeah, he just admitted to it. Essentially, it's just what? First he tells you nutrients, all. Then he says essentially it's just sugar and carbs. Sugar is carbs. Carbs are sugar. What the hell is he talking about? He thinks they're separate. Sugar and carbs are separate. It's all the same thing. It's sugar.
The vitamins and micronutrients, sweet potatoes is a good option. It also does
what micronutrients? What are you talking? He's making this shit up, man.
Have a little bit more fiber, so it'll slow down the digestion.
More fiber, it'll slow down the digestion. So you want to eat fiber so you can slow down your digestion. What? This guy is so dumb, man. What an idiot.
The carbohydrates itself, if you're trying to maintain more level blood sugar levels throughout your day. So
you want to maintain blood sugar levels through your day, man. This is bringing the glycemic. This is bringing. Oh man, it doesn't spike the complex stuff. Doesn't really spike insulin, so you're not so bad. It's not so bad because it's slow to digest. It's slow digestion. That's why. That's a difference, dude. think he doesn't even know that.
work a normal job and you don't want to be crashing, then maybe try something that's a little bit
Normal job and crashing, drugs crash you. They bring you up and then they bring you down. Then you need to do them all over again. What do? And then you go eat these carbs all over again. You eat them for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. So you don't even realize, have I crashed yet? Because you're eating carbs all day. The majority of people out there are wolfing down carbs left and right. They can't stop because they're addicted to it. That's the whole point, to addict carb slaves. The whole industry has slaved people to eating what? Carbs, sugar. They've slaved you into eating that. And I don't want to be slave to carbs or lifting or slave to fucking sugar, any of these fucking weird fake things, whatever, that these fake people are doing out there in the world, get it? And slave to lifting a heavy weight, or I got to go to a gym all the time, slaving myself there. I do use the gym, but it's basically for regenerative purposes only. That's it.
lower glycemic. It has a little bit more fiber, so it actually does slow down the digestion. So I'm gonna have 2 ounces of smoked salmon. This is higher fat again, and then
That's damn really good for you. That smoked salmon's amazing. Yes, I would say that. Here's the thing, TristynLee. I would say this: if you really have to do any of these things, just stick to white potatoes. Just stick to potatoes, and then cut out all the other stuff. You could do the sweet potatoes, but the white potatoes are much better. And do not eat the rice. It's filled with arsenic. It'll kill your health eventually down the line. It'll accelerate more aging. It's really bad for you, dude. You're going to look like a really shitty old Asian guy walking down the street.
mix that with 2 ounces of beef liver. Generally, you'll have 4 ounces of protein per meal.
Beef liver, that's excellent. The fish is amazing.
Beef liver is extremely lean, but it's extreme.
But there's no point in eating it. Eating too much of that so-called animal protein will accelerate aging, get it? Because it's not being utilized. It'll stress your body out because there's too much of it. It'll stress your body out, get it? Because you're not damaging muscle fibers. You're not growing any muscles. So what's the point? You understand me how stupid this is?
Nutrient dense. It's probably one of the most nutrient dense foods in the world.
Yes, it's nutrient dense. It's good to get in the nutrients, but how much do your cells, how much nutrients do they need? How much do they need?
And no, you don't need to shove 6 pounds of liver down your gullet every single day. You probably have like 2 ounces a week and you'll be set.
Yeah, you don't need to shove all that down your gullet. You understand me? You usually eat when you're hungry, and then when you're not hungry, do not eat. You understand me? That's how it really works. But it's different when it comes to muscle damage, muscle injuries. If you're injuring muscle to build new muscle fibers, well, guess what you have to do, bro? Get it? You have to, protein synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown. You need to be in an anabolic growth state. Shut up to convert the catabolic hormone to an androgen, so it doesn't have to compete with the myocytic androgen receptor, making you anabolic, and it'll repair and remodel these muscle fibers bigger and stronger. So then when you come back a second time with a second bout, they'll never damage again, and you'll never build any more muscles, okay? They'll be resilient. That's how they adapt. They adapt by getting stronger, bigger and stronger, and then they never get damaged again.
With all the micronutrients that you need as far as vitamin A, folate, all these.
Unless, of course, they get damaged under an adaptation. If you're adapted, no more damage. You get damaged muscles or injured when there's an adaptation. You got to shoot for adaptations. So how do you do that?
Different things that you're probably lacking if you're not having any sort of red meat, or if you're not having a lot of red meat. So have like 2 ounces this week and you're pretty much set. I can feel the EMFs in my brain.
Sadly.
Just throw it on the plate. Filet-free, liver, salmon, 3 things this week.
Wow, what a beautiful slave diet. He's got pickles, rice, and these sweet potatoes, but he's got the meat is amazing. The rest of the stuff, he really doesn't need it. Serve it to the slaves, dude. Save yourself from that crap. Now, the rice has arsenic, man. That's really bad for you, honestly. But look how much energy foods he has there. Rice and the sweet potatoes, and then he has these like vegetables. So he's got more of that than he's got protein on his plate. See that?
You know, white rice, jasmine rice, and then cucumber. This is a higher fat meal. Like I said, I'll put my fats further away from my workout because I still do want to make sure that I'm getting enough fats to support healthy hormonal function and all that stuff. Like a lot of people when they're increasing their foods, they're like, oh, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But obviously food quality still does matter, even if you are bulking. And kind of the mindset that I've always had is that no matter how much my
food quality matters? Well, food quality matters. Why are you eating that shit? Sweet potatoes and the rice and the pickles. The pickles have oxalates in it. The rice, well, I don't know. Does rice have oxalates? Yeah, I guess there's a level of oxalate and fucking arsenic. There's arsenic in it. And there's oxalates inside the sweet potatoes, man. They're nasty. They're anti-nutrient. They're anti-nutrient, dude.
Increases, I don't see any negative effect to just having higher quality of foods, even if I'm just having more of them. So
they're not. The liver and the salmon is high quality.
People ask me since I started dieting, which was really when I was like 13 years old, I started doing a ketogenic diet. If I have cheat meals, why I don't have cheat meals. You know, maybe for some people, getting enough food in when it's just protein and fats is very difficult, so adding in some sort of palatable food can be helpful. But for me, I've always found that I wanted to add from things that I can actually account for. So as I've gone through this phase of increasing my food overall, and people say like, oh, have a free meal, like Jared will tell you this too. He's told me to have free meals or whatever it is. But whenever he said that, I would just take the numbers and just increase them so I know how it's affecting my body. If I was going into a prep and I wanted to know how 100 grams of rice affects my body, I don't want to have a burger or fries or whatever it is, because yes, at the end of the day, it is still carbs and sodium or whatever, but I want to have stuff that's quantifiable so that when I make those adjustments, I can actually tell how it's affecting my body. So this is my third meal. Probably going to combine my next few meals. It's like mid-afternoon right now. Eat this, should digest fairly quickly, and then we'll see you guys at the next meal.
He's going to see in the next meal seed oils again and more arsenic, rice, seeds.
What?
It's going to be a really boring full day of eating because it's literally all the same foods.
I don't know what you guys want me to say.
It's literally the same foods, sugar all day. He's a sugar slave, man. I should call him the carb slave. Carbohydrate slave.
What do you want me to say? I eat the same foods every single day.
I'm going to call him a sarcoplasmic slave.
Well, what do you want me to do? Pull donuts out of my ass or something? I'll do it. No cap. Figure we might as well do a grocery haul. It's later on in the day now. 5:04 a.m. is what our clock says. Here we've got some prime beef boneless ribeyes, which is a fattier cut of meat.
That's good to have all that, but why does he need to eat all that? You don't even need to eat that much meat, bro. Get it? That's the truth, because you're not really damaging muscle, so there's nothing there to repair and remodel. You're not doing anything other than pumping glycogen in your muscle in and out just so you could look big and puffy. And then you're what? You're doing progressive overload so you could get good at lifting a heavy weight and pretend that you built muscles. Pretend you built them because you're moving weight around. What? This makes absolutely no sense.
If you are in your off season, fattier cuts of meat are an easy way to get more calories in. Beef, sausage, Polish sausage, this again is like really high fat. So like this is something that I put with something else that's kind of leaner so that I'm not going way overboard with shoving fat sausages in I mean, never mind. More salmon, fattier cut, again, good omega profile, very tasty.
No, this is pretty good. I don't care for the, what is that over there? Corned? I can't see what that says. It says beef, 100%. I don't know what they are. Sausage beef, whatever. I don't know what that is. It looks good though. It's beef. It's 100%. That's good. As long as it's not processed, I don't know. The smoked salmon is amazing. As long as it's wild salmon, yes.
Very delicious, super convenient. Both of these are super convenient.
Can you show stats on it?
Yeah, so this salmon's higher fat. It's 5 grams of fat for 11 grams of protein. So
that's really good, man. The higher the fat, the better in your diet. Really, I gotta shoot for higher animal fat myself now.
Basically like 1 gram of fat per every 2 grams of protein or so. I'll use these like away from my workout, and then when I'm closer to my workout, I'll have something leaner like these, which are bison strip loin steaks, which have even less fat.
Whoa, bison strip loin steaks, amazing, man. I cannot buy that here in Canada. But I guess he's in the U.S., he's in California somewhere, he's getting bison steaks, amazing, bro.
If you look at the meat cut in itself, within it, there's very little marbling at all. So it's basically just the fat along the cap, so it's a very lean steak.
That means it's very well grass-fed. That meat is very well grass-fed if there's no lines of fat in it, yep.
And if you're getting deeper into a cut or something, you can actually just cut the fat cap completely off. That's likely what I would do as well.
Oh, No, man. Grind the fat cap down, grind the meat up, and make a burger out of it, bro. Don't throw it away. If you have a hard time chewing on it, grind it, man. Or use one of these boards, like you just scrape it down into pieces. Like shit. Don't do that.
A little bit fattier, and you can see here, this is the sirloin flap steak. You can see the marbling throughout it.
Yeah, that depends. That could be, maybe that could be, well, sometimes it's good, sometimes that's good, that fat. Depends on maybe in a ribeye, but that could be grain fed. I'm not really sure. It's not grass fed. Maybe it's bad.
Another vegetable source is zucchini. Again, shape of the vegetable kind of question.
Why do you need these vegetables? Here's a question. If he's on a carb, he says, I'm taking carbs now, okay? But why do you need the vegetables for? You can't absorb them. You can't do anything with. They're anti-nutrient, bro. They do not work. They don't work, bro. They don't work, man. Trust me, they don't work. You're gonna be aggressive. You're gonna be agitated. You're gonna be all kinds of stuff, man. Eating these foods, especially these high energy foods. But these kind of foods, man, anti-nutrient, bro. It's bad.
Avocados get
You're gonna be on edge all the time.
some polyunsaturated fats, ground beef. This is
Saturated fats, I don't know, man. An avocado is considered a fruit. It's actually a fruit.
something that is super easy to do up. This is a fattier, so this is 85/50.
That's very good. And now, see, he wants to eat the fat when it's ground up, but he wants to throw away the cap. Don't throw away the cap, man. Use everything. Don't throw away any animal. Don't throw anything away from the animal. Don't be stupid. That animal had to die. You use everything in it.
Again, keep it away from my work.
100% grass-fed. That's what you want to eat. 100% grass-fed. This organic shit's bullshit, but grass-fed definitely. You can call it or fucking.
Yes, if I am having one that's closer to my workouts, I'll have a 93.7, which is a lot later in general. We've got Lindbergh rice. This is my primary carb source. You guys saw the sweet potato earlier. This is when I put carbs back into my diet. These were the two things that I found to digest extremely well. White rice just goes straight through my system. I'm already training a decent amount and I'm fairly active throughout the day. So processing and digesting white rice when there's no fiber in it at all pretty much is very easy for me, even over like a brown rice or something like that. You guys will see the meal at the end of the day, but walnuts, this is the only nut that I put in my diet. Technically I can around my workouts throw in like sugary cereals or something that's super fast digesting, but honestly it's just not for me.
Cereals? They're fast digesting? They're all sugar too, man. They're fortified.
I tried putting any sort of sugar into my diet and I just feel absolutely terrible. I get headaches, brain fog. I crash like crazy in the afternoon.
You mean direct sugar? Yeah, if it's, processed sugar, yeah, of course, yeah.
So for me, for the time being, I'm just gonna be sticking to like white rice or cleaner sources, just because that's what we're.
Cleaner sources? Oh man, they're the same source, dude. I don't know what he's talking about, but whatever.
For me, and that's kind of what you have to just figure out and play with for yourself.
Man, he was frying that zucchini in seed oil. Nasty, man. Nasty. Jesus. But that salmon looks amazing, doesn't it? Look at that. I just saw some the other day. I was getting some myself the other day. I love this. This is quality food you're talking about here. That fucking smoked salmon, bro.
What the science is showing us is the universe appears to be a.
Me too. I don't mind some avocado once in a while. I like avocado. It's not bad, actually. It has kind of weird taste, but, by itself, it's better with the guacamole.
Having enough balance of like time between meals, that muscle protein synthesis, which is basically what causes muscle growth.
Wait, muscle protein synthesis is what basically causes muscle growth? Yeah. No, it doesn't. It doesn't cause muscle growth. Protein synthesis, it only causes it if there's muscles that are damaged. Then it causes growth, a repair and a remodeling. then it grows muscles. Not when you are, listen, this guy's stupid. Proteins are breaking down and building up all day long. Right now they're building up and breaking down. Okay. You go to a gym, you're adapted. You lift these weights, right? Okay. There's a window for protein synthesis. Now why? Because they're breaking down. You've broken down these proteins. You went to the gym and you broke them down. So what do you want to do? You replace them. You put back that which you broke down. You went to work in a gym lifting a weight. A lifting slave in the gym. Only you paid to go lift these weights. Get it? You're not getting paid on your job there at the gym. You're not working for the gym. You're doing it for free lifting. You went there and you lifted. You broke down proteins. Now you go home and you restore the protein turnover. You restore the proteins that you lost. That's what you're really doing. So how much protein do you need to bring back that protein? How much do you need? How many grams do you need? See what I mean? Not a lot. You don't need a lot to restore that which you lost. You don't need a lot. See that? Now, how much carbs do you need to fill up those the glycogen stores? Well, in that case, because you're adapted, it's moved into this. That's the stuff that he's building now. Well, glycogen synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown. Get it?
Allows for muscle growth is high throughout the day. So 3 to 4 meals.
It's high throughout the day for muscle growth? What muscle growth? What muscle growth? What's high? You're not damaged. You have no damage. There's nothing. Even if there's hypoxia damage, that doesn't... Listen, you were adapted and you lifted weights in the gym, you got hypoxia. You damaged something in your body through hypoxia. That damage doesn't equate to muscles are going to get bigger. Get it? What are you talking about, eating protein? They don't store protein. Protein is not stored as an energy source in muscles, you fucking idiot. Fucking glycogen is stored as energy. So this whole protein synthesis a window, they don't store protein as energy. So I don't know what you're talking about. Protein synthesis needs to be used if muscles are injured. If they're injured, they need protein to do what? To repair and remodel themselves, you dumbass. But they don't store as an energy source because there's a protein synthesis, a window open up because I worked out.
Is honestly fine, whatever allows you to get the food in, but some people find it easier when they split up to like 5, even 6 meals, including the shake. 8 ounces of salmon, 3 ounces of avocado, 100 grams.
And what will that matter, all these ounces? There's nothing damaged, so there's nothing to repair. If there's nothing damaged, there's nothing to repair and remodel bigger and stronger. Get it, dude?
Zucchini cooked in a teaspoon and a half of olive oil, which is 7 grams of olive oil, and then 125 grams of white jasmine rice, again cooked in
Again, look how much rice he has here, and look at the food on the plate there. Man, he's gonna be loading more of this complex carbohydrate into the muscles, bro. Get it? That's what he's gonna do, man.
Teaspoon and a half of olive oil. So this is a very high fat meal. Having this probably 4 or 5 hours before bed, I find that if I have too much fat before I go to sleep, it affects my digestion, or if I have too much food in general. So
why would food affect your digestion? Your natural diet will never affect your digestion. This isn't normal because you're eating food that you shouldn't be eating, TristynLee. You're eating slave food. The slaves, they eat that. Get it? They got digestion problems and all that. When you eat your natural diet like you did before, carnivore diet, you would call it that, you didn't have any of these problems. Why are you having them now? It's kind of obvious because you're eating a natural slave diet, dude. Get it? That's why it's happening to you, dude.
I did try to pull this meal back a little bit. It's around 5 o'clock, just after 5 o'clock right now. We're gonna eat this, and then I'll catch you guys at the last meal for the macro breakdown for the day, and we'll all be finding out the calories. Question: is water wet? Good. Last meal of the Can you tell it's been a long day? Last meal of the day, I backloaded a lot of my calories today, which some people like to do, but when I've been bulking, it's been quite difficult to get enough food in general. I figured I'd go over supplements at the same time. I don't take a lot of supplements, and no, none of these are...
When you've been bulking, it's hard to get the same amount in? What? That made absolutely no sense, dude.
necessary. So before you go out and buy $1,000 worth of Tonkat Ali and then Turkesterone and like whatever else, you don't need.
And why do you need Tonkat Ali, Turkesterone, all this fake stuff to load more glycogen in the muscle, bro? You're not damaging anything. There's nothing there to repair and remodel.
Any of this, you can just eat whole foods. For me, it makes it easier to get food down eating liquid calories or drinking liquid calories. And having these supplements, I found to have a little bit of a performance benefit. I have them available to me, so why not use them? Tonight we have the beautiful casein pudding that was recommended to me by Dr. Mike Israetel when I stayed at his place with 40.
Mike Israetel is another phony. He doesn't know anything. That's why he has to make a million videos about stupid shit over and over again, about doing this pattern, that pattern, getting this muscle, get that muscle. He has to do video over video over video about stupid shit that makes absolutely no sense. Bodybuilding is not that hard to understand. Force production, want muscles to build, damage them. Want phony muscles? Glycogen. Protein synthesis exceeds its breakdown in damaged muscle fibers. They repair and model stronger. That's the adaptive part. And then they don't. And then they never build again because you can't damage them anymore. There's something called repeated body effect phenomenon. And then there's sarcoplasmic, the phony muscles, which everybody could build because it's not controlled by follistatin, myostatin, or the satellite cell. Okay, okay, dude. Okay, and neither are fat cells. It's really simple. Muscles are post-mitotic. They do not split and divide because you're waving your arms up in the air constantly in the gym. You get it, motherfucker? They don't fucking split and divide. They're post-mitotic. Get it? Now, in order to get more of them, the progenitor has to come out of quiescence, and it's got to split and divide, increase the number. And then it's got to proliferate and then differentiate into fibroblasts, myoblasts, and a whole bunch of stuff, okay? To form myotubes, sarcomeres, and a bunch of other things. And it can elongate, get bigger, get longer, and get a bunch of new fibers, nosin fibers.
5 grams of walnuts, so some healthy fats before I go to bed.
But that only ever happens in an adaptation, and it's hard to get those adaptations. You have to do several different types of movements to get a new adaptation.
Then I'm gonna have 100 grams of carbs, 125 grams of white rice again, and then olive oil. Supplement-wise, magnesium, bisglycinate, the only one that crosses the blood-brain barrier. I think L-threonate might as well. You guys can research that first.
What is all this shit he's eating? Magnesium, this, that. What do you need that? Meat is not deficient in any nutrients, you dummy. And you've been eating it the whole time. Were you deficient at any point? Did you have problems? No. So why do you need magnesium? Why do you need these things? Want to know why? Because the foods you're eating, the slave food now, is anti-nutrient. That's why you're woofing them down now. Get it? That's the whole point.
So helps me sleep tremendously, and I've heard the same from a lot of other people. It's one of those things where
that's bullshit. The best one is taurine. Taurine will help you sleep a lot better. The amino acid taurine, it's gonna help you sleep way better. It has way better benefits than magnesium.
if you're deficient in magnesium or any of the electrolytes, it can throw a lot of things out of whack.
I can't tell you the reasons now why taurine does that. It has something to do with a bunch of other synergistic stuff. Like your melatonin and all that's regulated through taurine, but whatever.
Prevents you from getting into a nice deep sleep that actually recovers you, which is what you want. Obviously, recovery is just as important as the training itself. Casein.
Yeah, it's important for him to recover to come back and lift tomorrow, to be a lifting gym slave. Again, he has to recover to lift heavy weights day in and day out because he's not an ant. He's not built with 75% muscles where he could just lift 10 times his body weight. He is a human. He's got 40% muscles, and so he has to practice at lifting heavy weights based on what? CNS, the nervous system, and androgen receptors, and man, these motor units, they proliferate, and that gives you more force production. It's practiced strength, increasing the force production by progressively overloading it. And then he's progressively overloading this glycogen, creating these phony muscles walking around like he's jacked and shit. Meanwhile, he's never built any muscle. If he built more myofibrillar growth, he could have increased his natural strength. He's wasting his youth not building myofibrillar growth because the window is a short window. By 25, the real good window to build those muscles is 25. The window closes. I discovered muscle damage way later. I did get a lot of adaptations when I was younger in doing stretching and stuff and all that for hours and hours, like a karate class and fucking taekwondo shit and all that back in the day. But eventually, you know, and even running and sports and doing a bunch of stuff, I got these DOMs and whatever, this damage back then, doing certain stuff in sports, because that's where you get it too. But I also got it. I got it late in my life, in my late 20s. That's when I really discovered the full body workout. It was what is the one that would get you the most DOMs all the time. Could keep coming back. You could get it to keep coming back, but you still have to go through repeating or repairing or remodeling, because with a repeated bout, it will not damage because it's protected. Now it moves in type 1, has to protect it because you could get rhabdo and fucking die. Get it? So it does there's a quicker repair and remodeling as you get, as a more advanced you get with this.
Is a little bit slower digesting. Again, it's minutia than whey protein is, or than any other protein is. So having that before bed will keep your muscle protein synthesis higher throughout the night. 40 grams of cake.
And why do you want to keep your protein synthesis higher out through the night? They already told you in science you should not keep mTOR high. It's associated with what? Accelerated aging and a whole bunch of other stuff, keeping mTOR high. Eating so much protein is not good for you if you're not building muscles. Get it? It's only good when you're building muscles, you dumbass. But you go into the gym expelling energy in and energy out because you want to be a lifting slave, sofa moving man. You are the moving guy, the moving dude. You got your moving truck and you went to a gym to move weights around in the gym. Instead of moving furniture, you're moving weights around. Get it? And then you're coming home and then adding the glycogen. What the fuck? This is ridiculous.
Casein, 45 grams of walnuts, and then 125 grams of...
Walnuts are fucking nasty, poison, and then again, rice, jasmine rice. Give me a break, man. Arsenic.
jasmine rice, which seems to be the star of the video.
Holy shit, this guy is a lifting slave, a gym slave, and now he's a carb slave, bro. Get it? He's a fucking foods. He eats a slave food diet. This is, look at this shit he's pouring in there. It's some kind of oil.
I just can't. I can't.
What, the olive oil?
Yeah.
That is fucking gross. Olive oil.
Did you?
And like this consistency, pudding.
What my homemade pudding sees when I come, I open the door.
So this is the last meal, the casein pudding, the walnuts, and the rice. You guys saw kind of what
This is gross, man. This is fucking gross.
my new daily diets. Like, it's been shifting pretty frequently, I would say, like every 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks or so. But we're gonna do a little breakdown. I haven't actually used MyFitnessPal in a while, but I do see. I actually haven't used MyFitnessPal in a while, but if you are getting into dieting, that is the app to use. I'm not sponsored by them by any means, but I'm gonna put my stuff into here and I'm gonna see what my diet is actually looking like, because I don't know how many calories I'm consuming. I'm only going off of macros per meal, so just a general caloric range based off of the macros that I'm having in each meal, and then each day I'm just continuing to eat pretty similar foods, like I said. So starting with breakfast, which was my peri-workout shake, I drank half of it pre-workout and half of it intra-workout. I had 3.5 scoops of a carb powder, which was cluster dextrin, and that was 25.
Again, whey protein. It says 2 grams carbs. No, it's got sugar in it. Carb power, 315 calories of what carbs? 87.5 grams sugar. Chimera pump, 2 something carbs. I can't even see this. Again, sugar, bro. Get it?
5 grams of carbs per scoop, so it was 85 grams of carbs total. I had half of that pre-workout and then half of that intra-workout.
He's never gonna figure out why his teeth are falling out and falling apart, and he's got problems going to see a dentist. Eventually, his dick won't work. His balls will shrink because of this. Your testicles are gonna shrink. They're gonna be small. They're never gonna operate the way they should fully operate. They'll be small all the time. And here's another thing: eating this food, and yeah, he's gonna be bloated. He's gonna have other health issues. Eventually, he's gonna end up with liver, kidney disease. When he's gonna come in when he's like 40, he's gonna do a blood test and they're gonna say, "Hey man, you got kidney disease, this, that." He's gonna have back problems, kidney disease, liver problems, a whole bunch of shit, man's gonna happen. His glands have shrunk in his body. The glands have all shrunk. He's probably gonna have an enlarged prostate at some point down the road in the future. It could even cause him. This could even cause him to be disabled. He won't be able to run. He'll have problems running, moving properly, exercise. This is what it does to you eventually with time. I discovered that. I discovered that in science. I read report after report about it, how it disables you and what it does to you, how it destroys you in the long run. In the short run, it may sound cute and nice, but in the long run, it's gonna fuck you up, and it's fucked me up, believe me. And it is very hard to get out of it. That's the problem. That's what I discovered. Yeah, it'll destroy your mitochondria. If you destroy your mitochondria, to reverse that destruction is almost near impossible at some point.
Mixed with 25 grams of whey protein as well, just to make sure that I did have a little bit of protein before going into training and also supporting right after training. After that, as soon as I got home, I had my lunch, which was my first real meal of the day, which was some actual solid food. And this was the highest carb meal of the day because it was right around my workout. I wanted to make sure that when
highest carb meal, it's all carb, bro. Hello, it's all sugar. 2.68 carbs, something here, I don't know. Some kind of cucumber, 100 grams of cucumber. They're anti-nutrient, bro.
nutrient partitioning is at its highest, I'm getting the...
He's nutrient partitioning. Did you see, what is he nutrient partitioning here? It's all carbs. He's nutrient partitioning. It's all sugar. Hey, man, I'm nutrient partitioning. It's all carbs.
carbohydrates and the nutrients delivered directly to the muscle like I want them to.
Let me get this straight. He wants all the nutrients delivered to the muscle like he wants them to. For what purpose? They're not doing anything. You're just expelling energy out of the going to the gym adapted, not shooting for adaptations. You're just expelling energy in and out. What are you going there for? To lift a heavy weight, to practice at lifting a heavy weight, to be good at lifting that heavy weight, because if you go away, it goes away? I know. You're going there to be good at putting more of this glycogen in your muscles so you could look jacked as well, because you know if you don't go there for a certain period of time, the energy eventually will leak out of the muscle. So you have to maintain them artificially with eating an artificial diet, and you have to maintain them artificially by going to an artificial gym, and you have to maintain this forced production artificially by moving man-made metal. This is fucking insane, bro. Get it? This is the insanity that people live in the fitness industry. You have to be fucking mentally retarded to do that shit.
So I had 185 grams of jasmine rice. I had 4 ounces of skirt steak, and then I had 75 grams of baby bella mushrooms mixed with 100 grams of cucumber as the quote-unquote vegetables. And
women are only interested of how much youth you have, and your youth is associated with sex. If you focus on making yourself look younger, your face, your body and everything, I'm so obsessed now with making myself look younger because I'm getting older. And so that's a good obsession. You should be obsessed with looking younger and being younger and making yourself better. That should be your obsession. Your obsession shouldn't be, I have to be the guy in the gym lifting the heaviest weight. Nobody sees what you lift in public. They only see what you look like. Get it? Now, if you just look like a balloon pumped up with carbs, don't worry. The women will smell that. They know that's fake. Here's the thing, man. Like I said, man, you focus on looking young and nice and good. Focus on your health and this, and you can focus on regeneration to regenerate muscle fibers. That is more intelligent. You understand me? That is intelligent. Nah, I gotta lift this weight you're lifting. You will never use it in public. You'll never use it in the real world. And you know, when you dig a rock in your backyard, digging a rock, it's not the same as you lifting in the gym. The position and how you do that is different. So if you do go to the gym, it's better to do all different kinds of exercises, to eke out all different kinds of adaptations in muscle injury. So you injure these muscles, they repair and remodel stronger. Then you move on to something else and do that. Get stronger at that exercise. Get stronger at that exercise, or that sport, or that calisthenic, or that body weight exercise, or doing that cable machine, or doing those dumbbells, or doing this exercise. You understand me? Get adaptations at several different things. Get an adaptation of digging a rock in your backyard and lifting it out. I don't know, moving it around or something. Get a new adaptation, doing different kind of lifts and different kind of movements, and that will build more myofibrillar growth. Get it? You'll get an adaptation in that. and that adaptation will make you stronger. Get it? By building more myofibrillar growth. You understand me, dude? Stop being a gym lifting slave and adapt it to doing the same exercises over and over again. Because I gotta look cool. I gotta do dumbbells, and then I gotta do squat, and then I gotta do deadlift. Get it, man? Do something fucking you.
Fungi, I guess. For my lunch, which was the afternoon meal, I had 375 grams of sweet potato, 60 grams of jasmine rice, 2 ounces of beef liver, 2 ounces of smoked salmon, 100 grams of cucumber, and then I mixed in 1.5 teaspoons of olive oil into the rice just so I can get some additional fats. Moving on to kind of my
All those seed oils, nasty. The best thing he has there is the salmon and the beef, okay? The liver.
dinner, which was meals 4 and 5, which are the ones that I combined together. I had 8 ounces of smoked salmon.
Again, if you need an energy, if that's what you want to be on that type of energy source artificially, eat potatoes. That isn't your diet as a carnivore, as a human. That's not your diet. But you can. That doesn't mean you look. That doesn't mean you should eat it. You shouldn't eat it, but you can eat it. Get it? You can eat anything. But remember the consequences that you have to. You will pay the consequences down the line, like everybody else getting sick on this fucking planet because they're eating an artificial fucking diet, bro. Get it, dude? And it'll happen to you. Trust me. You're not infallible. You may be young now, but you'll be old soon. Trust me. Days turn into months, and months turn into years, and years turn into decades, dude. Get it? Really fast.
150 grams of zucchini cooked in 1.5 teaspoons of olive oil. I added another teaspoon to 125 grams of jasmine rice. On top of that, I had 3 ounces of avocado, so it was a very fat-heavy meal. That was my biggest meal of the day, but please do consider that I was combining 2 meals, so technically that would have been meal 4 and 5. But
the fats are great for your mitochondria, but they won't have a chance to get there because you're overloading it with fucking carbs, dude. It's crazy. It's just sugar.
For the sake of this video, it was only meal 4. And then now we're at the end of the day. I'm about to eat this, scarf this down, and it's going to be 125 grams of jasmine rice, 46 grams of walnuts, 45, whatever.
Why do you need all that stuff? The walnuts, the this, the that. Like I said, if you need the carb, get one that's not going to kill you. The potatoes are better. Potatoes are better, okay? In bodybuilding, there's only 2 types of hypertrophy. There's myofibrillar and sarcoplasmic, and it seems like you're adapted doing sarcoplasmic, so you don't need a lot of protein, okay? You don't need it. It's bad for you. It can hurt your liver and your kidneys eating that much protein. Adapted. What you need to do is focus on eating more potatoes, and you'll load that in there. You'll create more of these fake sarcoplasmic muscles because that's your training right now. It's sarcoplasmic. It's kind of obvious. Okay? You don't need the walnuts and all that. You don't need the rice with arsenic in it. You don't need to destroy your health or destroy you, bro. Stay away from all those things. Keep it very simple. Eat your normal things like you would eggs or your fish or your liver or whatever, and then focus on potatoes for the sarcoplasmic hypertrophy shit that you're doing, bro. Creating more artificial muscle growth.
40 grams of casein in this casein pudding, and then I put another 1.5 teaspoons of olive oil into the rice. So today is totaling out at 4,173 calories, 588.
Again, you don't need calories to build sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. You don't need calories to build myofibrillar growth. What you need is protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown to build myofibrillar growth when muscles are injured. If a muscle, listen, what do they give these burn patients in the hospital? What do they give them before years ago? Remember the burn patients? They gave them 36 eggs. They gave them 36 raw eggs a day. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Because they were injured. They had an injury. What was their injury? They were burned. And what did that place them in? When they ate 36 raw eggs, what did that place them in? In anabolic growth state. Get it? It's not based on glycogen. If they ate a whole bunch of glycogen like you're doing now, that's not going to repair, bro. That's not going to repair the damage. You have to be in an anabolic growth state to repair and remodel muscles if they're fucking damaged. Get it? But you're not damaging muscles. You understand me? You're loading fucking energy in your muscles. You don't need all those foods, these so-called calories. You need a very good, clean, complex carbohydrate called potatoes, and it will load faster and harder than the last time. Get it, broski? And it'll make you, well, get a little faster in there.
8 grams of carbs. Consider that that's also including trace carbs from whatever other foods that I'm having, the walnuts.
Yeah, some fat is good to have in there, but it's all going to have fat in there automatically in the meat and the fish. They already have fat in it, so what?
The protein sources, even some of them have a little bit of carbs, and as well as the vegetable.
Look at his protein source and look at the carbs and look at the fat. More important is the protein and the fat in your diet. But again, for these phony muscles, he just needs that. He doesn't need all these different weird foods and the ones that are fucking like anti-nutrient and fucking poisonous, like the rice.
200 grams of protein, again, is probably about 170 without the additional trace protein, and 116 grams of fat. So this is the most amount of food that I've ever eaten, and I'm feeling really good right now. I'm feeling very happy.
This is the problem with bodybuilding people. They just have no clue in the world. And I understand. I can understand, man. He just lacks the knowledge. He's lacking the experience and the knowledge. He's not thinking about it because he was brought up this way. The slave diet, the slave lifestyle. He's been brainwashed. He's been conditioned. The problem is when you're conditioned a certain way, it's hard to break to tradition. It becomes tradition. First it becomes practice, then tradition. It becomes very hard to break this shit, bro. This is crazy.
With the progress that's being made. That's the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed another full day of eating. If you guys did, please leave a like, drop a comment what videos you guys want to see next. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll catch you in the next one.
If you feel tired or exhausted during the day, struggling to keep your eyes open.
Anyways, friends, I gotta go. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel, helps with the algorithm. Yeah, TristynLee, man. Just another day of the poor lifting sarcoplasmic slave. A gym lifting sarcoplasmic slave. See you in the next one, friends. Ciao. I hope you learned something there. Be very careful. Do not destroy yourself. You only have one life and one body. Don't do it.